It's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason to doubt. It's clear to see. All eyes on me for 100 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless. Easy does it. In public, hated and love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous and mortal.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. This complete to the tight end, Clay. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Jackson now. Drops it underneath for Collins. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
A first carry now for Alex Collins. And now running right through it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Jackson on first down. That's caught out left by Perriman. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They'll try to punch it in with Yeldon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 3rd and goal, Collins. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And this one is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Taken in at the 22. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Jackson on 2nd down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jerry Hughes in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Then they got to look at something big here on 3rd.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
This is brought in at the 21. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your...
It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play here for the Bills. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a 1st down carry here from McCoy. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, Taylor. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost himself some yardage there.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Taylor, Ellington has it, middle of the field. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Over the middle and caught by the tight end play. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Taylor, and it's incomplete. Trying to go back to Clay that time, and now it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. On 2nd down, it's McCoy. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Here's Taylor to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And some room to roam now. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand. But as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. Flushed out right. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
No. Check. Patriot. Gone.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens are in for 6. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt, that one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Taylor with a give to McCoy. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime, Mings, had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Taylor on third down throws incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They go play action with Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
The Ravens on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still first down
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Collins. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Jackson looking to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Taylor will bring the Bills up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Taylor. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Benjamin's got it. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have cut it to within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? They've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack? Or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They've become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
He'll get it up the middle. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Escaping the pressure, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Taylor will bring the Bills up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And that's complete. It's Ellington. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now Taylor, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Tavon Young, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here's a first down run with Collins, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for.
This is caught inside the 15. That one goes for 36 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluded. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. In for the score. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Bills. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And he slides to avoid the hit. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. 3-19. Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now Taylor on 1st down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Man open right side, it's the tight end Clay. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Taylor, and he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half. Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And again, it's Collins. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Jerry Hughes on the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. They run with Collins. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Baltimore, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll look